Okay. Howdy. Hello. Good morning. Feeling really good about Melee lately. Past couple days. Just feels like something has clicked. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of fun just playing Melee, being around Melee, watching. I mean, it's honestly pretty tough for me to get excited about watching Melee, and I just got real excited again recently. So I thought it would be fun to. I don't know. I've had kind of a grind set mindset the past couple days. I'll be honest. I'm still a little embarrassed about the a couple of days ago video too. I actually wanted to do a little bit of Falco practice to warm up to. Mostly because my Falco looks like crap. Like no joke. I just don't have another way to say it. I was like, oh man, this is not a good look. See how these wave dashes are just not quite right. Let's do some short hops here, just do basic stuff here. The plan is to go for about 2 hours. I want to do it to start off with just a little bit of Falco unranked. Do some pika practice. Should be doing that actually. I never do up tilts. They don't gotta be that good yet, they just gotta be there. Because Ganon's up tilt is usually a stock loss, I would say, in neutral, and Pikachu's is I'm gonna say like I'm struggling because I want to say it's hard to use, but I don't think that's the attitude to have with it. But it's not I'd say situational. It's not something you throw out a lot randomly. It's kind of a follow-up. At least is how I've been using it. I need to be watching more Tyler Swift and stuff too, because he's really the up tilt guru for Pikachu. So. But Falco has probably the most fun character to practice in this game, bar none. It's always there's something about the movement that feels it's so easy to unlock the fluidity of the character. So it's really nice to it's a fun character to just play. It definitely makes sense why Slippy is like, I don't know, what, 50 something percent. I was looking up trying to find percents and I couldn't find anything, but if anybody has any idea on what the percentage of players that are Falco is, I'd be super curious to learn. So I bet it's about 50%. It sure feels like that some days too, but I think ideally my plan is to actually only stream ranked on days when the free ranked isn't open. I thought that would be because everybody's streaming ranked today, so. Although this is mostly for VODs too, so maybe I shouldn't really think too hard about it. The nice thing about free ranked is just seeing a lot of different people, getting a lot of different looks and stuff. Basically just copying what PPMD does. Have to do that. Oops. Just sticking with really basic stuff right now. Really limiting when I'm touching. Oops. she went so sorry. I was like, Sorry, one of my friends, I ran their cache links a couple days ago. I was just checking to see if they had any thoughts on that, but they live in a van in not great, pretty hot area for the most part. They're pretty vocal about what they deal with during the day. They just came out as trans recently as well, which I'm actually delighted, just really happy that they kind of figured that out, or you know, hopefully that it helps them out too. But I don't know, there might be their cache links in there someday to them. Oh hey Suki, yeah, I've known them since I was living in my car, and they're super. They're really into the mutual aid community on Twitter, which I don't really want to. It's a tough. It's kind of a downer to talk about that. I don't really want to get too into it, but they're very supportive. And I've known them for a couple years now, and it's always kind of been a situation where I've been like, I really want to see them. I just think they deserve to be housed and safe. It always really frustrates me that they can't do that. So I don't know. So if there might be their cache links in there in the future, every so often, just because you know, sometimes you hear about like the fact that their alternator belt in their van died and they can't get the AC to work, and then, well, you know, just getting all distracted here, sorry. And thank you for being here, by the way, Suki. I appreciate that a lot. I don't know what happened, but I got the grind set mindset. Oops. Oh my gosh, alright. We'll get there. Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, and I mean, if I can do it playing Melee, you know, that is not nothing, so. But we got some coffee here. Rough schedule is going to be just a bit of the old Falco unranked. I was a little ashamed of my performance, attempting to show off some of the angles you can do with Falco. Maybe it's a melee player thing, but it's like I have to have at least I have to at least be able to hold my own with Falco, you know, so. Felt a little embarrassed about that. Oops. So. All my timings are off and everything, so it's just, you know how it gets. Can't even wave shine, man? What happened to me? We used to be men in this country. Sorry. Yeah, I just wanted to do a little bit of warm-up today. Actually, yeah, we'll just do a couple unranked games with Falco right now and get to the pika practice here. I was just practicing Falco. So I'm gonna be doing dual main pika Ganon. I've decided that's gonna be what happens, but today I just wanted to do a little bit of Falco warm-up. I also noticed that Falco is a really decent character to warm up with in the game, so when you're playing, just kind of, I don't know, a lot of the tech seems to go into other stuff really well. Did I give you my Ganon spiel? My Ganon, why I started maining, or why I started taking a serious interest in Ganon? I don't need to get that cheesy right now. Oh, weird. No, I think that was before you were doing this stuff, but so I was a huge. Oh, also, by the way, just if you're watching the VOD right now, little trigger warning for the story because you got to talk about some people who aren't so nice in the community. So just fair warning. I'm guessing a lot of people probably know who that is already before I even start with the story, but just letting y'all know beforehand. But anyway, so I was a huge mech fan. Like, I really cannot describe how big a fan I was of that guy. I also meditate pretty frequently, and a lot about what he did and what he said and how he played. I felt like there was a lot of similarity to that, and I was just really impressed by just about everything, right? And also coming from the community that he had come from, you know, right? So when he, I always call it like when he kind of popped, and it you know, a lot of what happened ended up happening with him, where it's became that he is incredibly transphobic, and just like kind of like, you know, I remember when they had the bit of I remember when they showed the evidence for what he had been doing, and I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, well, it's just going to be a couple like really kind of slightly problematic posts and maybe some DMs or whatever. It wasn't that. It was actually like pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of posts. Like it was bad, right? So, and so, you know, a lot of people in the community, I knew some people who, someone kind of, it seems like they haven't really even recovered from the fact of that sense of, like, that sense of loss, you know? Or that sense of just not having, you know, finding out that that's the person that you were caring about, or like that you felt was representing something positive. To see that happen, especially, you know, I think a lot of people in this day and age feel that pretty frequently. I think especially in the trans community, especially, I mean, he was dropping some hard R's too, so I don't like hearing hard R's, so that hurt. Because I am autistic, and anyway, so I got mad about it, and when I was streaming on Twitch, I would just like change the picture of the thumbnail to like mech is transphobic when he would stream, and then I would like, and then that would be the be right back screen, and then sometimes I just leave the be right back screen on for an hour because I was just like, fuck this guy, like he shouldn't be on Twitter right now, or he shouldn't be on Twitch right now. It's ridiculous that he's still allowed to be on there. And I was like, so I was really mad. So finally, one day he was streaming, and I was like, I made one of those cheesy titles that I like to make, where like the way to master the path of the warrior is to hate women or something like that. And I decided to start playing Ganon because I thought it would be kind of just funny. So then I started playing Ganon, and then I was like, I am going to play Village People music the entire time that I do this, and Elton John, and like Scissor Sisters, and you know, Queen. So but something weird happened in that period, is that I actually really started to enjoy what learning Ganon was bringing for me, because Ganon has a lot of really interesting movement tech and stuff. There's a lot to Ganon that Ganon can do that is very... Whoa, what the fuck? I'm trying to think of the right way to describe it, but basically there's... It's just, you know, I played the character, and I think I described it as like everything old is new again. It just felt so fresh. And I really just kind of felt in love with the character. And then I got kind of mad because I was like, why do these, you know, these douchebags keep you know, running around with this character that's really, really fun to play, and I found really inspiring to play as well. Because I was just having so much fun practicing like movement tech and stuff like that. Oops. And I liked how off meta the character was too, because Pikachu also kind of, there's a lot about how Pikachu plays that's not necessarily how you play this game traditionally, I guess. I can talk a little bit more about that later, but like, I consider Pikachu kind of an off-meta character, and I feel the same way about Ganondorf, where there's a lot about what the neutral of this game is that you just sort of ignore with the character. Alright. I actually feel sick playing Falco now, so we're going to switch to a different character. I will go back to the, yeah. So yeah, so oh, thank you. I was just, motoring through that. Just try not to think too hard about it, to be honest. But yeah, you know, I get so mad at all the gatekeeping in this game. And just how much work so many people in this game do to make a lot of the people who play it feel really small and really bad. So I said, fuck it, I'm gonna play Ganondorf. And I'm gonna... If I ever get the chance to play a top 8, which is probably never gonna happen, but if I ever do it, I'm gonna wear a fucking dress while I do it. And I said that, you know, because fuck them. I'm comfortably cishet, but just fuck those guys. Honestly, I just hate them. I just hate them. And, you know, I don't think they should be in the community. I don't think they should be allowed to stream. I don't think they should be allowed to play the game. So, I'm gonna practice and turn myself into a fucking Ganondorf net play legend and run it with Trans Lives Matter all the time, because I'm that fucking petty about this shit. But yeah, so it's so I don't know sometimes if I like the character or if it's just that really is how I think about stuff. But man, it just know a lot of people who are trans. I mean, yeah, like, and there's a lot of backroom stuff too. Pretty much any top Ganondorf player from the past like 10 years, aside from Nun and Kage, apparently seem to all be fairly transphobic. I think Prometheus, I just don't know too much about him, but I think he's okay. But it's a lot of like, there's that. I mean, most of them, to my knowledge, are banned at this point. I mean, I think if you're openly transphobic, it seems like they'll take care of it pretty quickly. But I know that there's a lot of pervasive feelings that still exist, and you can see it pretty obviously. I mean, and you can go on just about anybody's chat in the Smash that's got like more than 100 people watching it, and you'll see some stuff that you don't want to see, that they just let happen because they want to make the money from Twitch, and you know. Like, I don't want to name like too many names, but I mean, kinda. It's definitely getting better because I think people are really starting to put their foot down about how some of the people act in the community, but it is the community of Leffen at the end of the day, so that is something that you have to always factor when you talk about Melee or when you play Smash, so. But yeah, anyway, so long story short, I'm gonna do the dual main thing. I thought it would be fun to like hit each tier of rank with one and then try for the other. So for example, I'm gonna, you know, I hit silver with Pikachu, then I hit silver with Ganon, and then I want to do the same thing with gold, and then, I mean, can't imagine I'm gonna get, I don't know, it's hard to imagine that much further to see. It's hard to see myself getting that much better, to be honest. But oops. But yeah, anyway, so gonna do the dual main thing there. Yeah, no, and there's oh, I should be reading when you, sorry. Suki says, I have a few issues with some top melee players, but it's mostly how they act. I'm not one that enjoys shit talkers, let's say. Yeah, I feel the same way. I definitely prefer respectful players and stuff like that. And I also play this game because I think it's kind of... It's so hard that it's such a tough game to fake, you know? And I really want to, I don't know, explore that, you know? And to me, it just doesn't make sense to look at someone who's helping me explore, like, my own ability to better myself, or at least improve at something, and say, like, oh, this guy fucking sucks, or something like that. And I mean, I got friends that talk shit, you know, I think it's part of competition. Every so often it does make me chuckle, I'll say that much, but I've noticed for me personally that it's just something that I have to move past, or I don't really get where I want to be as a player, as a person. I think people in Smash I like the most is Axe and Amsa, and the ones I like the least is Bobby Big Balls and West Balls, although I think West has improved over time. West is got some stuff that you might want to check out and see, because I think he's actually banned in a couple of regions right now. So Bobby Big Balls, I don't watch his stream. I don't got too much to say. My opinion of him is, yeah, I know, I felt the same way. I was a huge fan back in the day. One of my favorite commentary calls is I think it's Fauster going, West Balls is in fire in that game versus Leffen. So yeah, that was you know, but anyway, but the thing with Bobby is, like, I hear from a lot of people that, like, off stream he's super chill, super nice. I kind of am at the point with a lot of Twitch communities where I'm like, you're kind of responsible for the bed you make. You know, you have to sleep in that. And that's kind of the feeling with, like, I get with a lot of the people who stream at that level, is like, if you want to be around that community the whole time, then I don't, you know, they let so much stuff go in their chats, right? And it's just, I don't know, like, I don't know how to sympathize with someone who's cool with people saying that stuff in their rooms, like, who's cool cultivating that identity and that personality and stuff like that. And I mean, I feel for the guy, because I feel like anybody who has really public meltdowns, like, that's really fucking hard to deal with. So I don't want to be unsympathetic, but I think you're really responsible for the community that you make. And I think Smash players, especially because so many people seem to be so, I guess, impressionable in the community. You know, they take after their top players and they really identify with them really hard. I mean, like any sport, really, you know. Melee just has that extra edge. I think the moment I lost all respect for him was when he took the mouse off his friend's PC and threw it. Like, yeah, he said he would buy him a new one right after, but that is unacceptable no matter what. Yeah, and that's the thing too, is like, how often do you let this guy do these outbursts and then like and I think especially because the game cultivates so much anxiety in people, you know, I mean, it doesn't like, what do you say? Like, what do you say to you know, after the ban for drinking in his car, there really wasn't much that changed. So it's kind of hard to, I don't know. I really want to be sympathetic to the guy, but it just doesn't seem like things are, I don't know. Like, I always compare it to, like, you know, when you see professional boxers and they'll lose a fight and then they'll still have to be kind of gracious afterwards. Like, it always, at the end of the day, made me feel a little bit ridiculous being in this community because we're not getting punched in the face and people will, like, flip the fuck out. And I'm like, guys, it's just not... Come... Like, I'm going to be super frank with you, too. I mean, you know that I was homeless for a long time. Like, I get woken up in the middle of the night by cops sticking a gun in my face, screaming at me because they really wanted an excuse to shoot me because I was sleeping in my car. And that's something that's really tough for me to deal with. Playing this game doesn't make me... If playing the game ever feels anything close to like that for me, then I'm doing something really wrong, right? I'm not practicing, I'm not taking care of my body, I'm not doing X, and X, right? It's not worth it for me to put myself in a position like that. And it's also not worth it for me to play this game thinking that I'm giving myself more credibility putting myself in a position like that. I'm sorry I'm doing the same practice for like 15 minutes here. This is just how I like to... I kind of chase it if I'm happy doing one thing over and over again, because that usually means that I need to be doing it, so... Just work something, more stuff in there too. You raging from losing to Marth up tilt is a luxury problem, that's for sure, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I mean, basically, yeah. Well, it's also, you're not going to get better at getting tilted every time. Like, I mean, you see how many people who will, like... Let me put it this way. Let me say this in a way that's a little bit nicer. I would try... I really wanted to coach this game for a long time. But I've never had the results to justify it. And I get that, right? Like, I'll try to do my best to help out friends and stuff, but something that I do know a lot about with this game is mentality, and I know a lot about mentality for these things, and I always tell people, I'll try to get people to that point where they say, okay, I'm not playing well if I'm frustrated, or if I'm this, or if I'm this, or this, and I say, and I'll try to give them, I'll try to explain to them that, like, okay, here's the thing then, all your tech skill, all that work that you're putting into the game, that all gets thrown away every time you get frustrated, right? So that doesn't... Why are you even practicing tech skill then? Because you can't accurately use it right now because you're getting frustrated every time this happens or this happens. Or one time I was talking to a friend and I said, you know, when do you feel like you're playing well? And he said, well, when I'm feeling confident. And I'm like, okay, so how do we get it so you feel like you're still playing well even if you're not feeling confident? Like, what do we do so you're still getting that sense of progression even when you're not feeling like you're playing 100%, or you're not feeling like it's all there for you, right? And that's one of the big things that I feel is an issue with the community in terms of what people try to teach. And you'll see people like PPMD, who I'm always going to be a fan of, and you'll see other people try to really tackle the concept of the mentality, but like at the end of the day, you really have to be, you know, this is a competitive sport. The more that I try to pretend that I'm like on a basketball court, or that I'm in a ring, or that I'm at a gym when I play this game sometimes, the better that I perform at the game. And it's not necessarily because this is aping those things. It's just because it's a very challenging game to play. Everybody knows that. I don't think we need to like sit and inflate our own egos discussing how hard this game is. It's a very hard game. That's it. It takes practice. I don't sit... When I played Multiverse, I wasn't sitting doing this practice because I didn't need to. I could just pick up the game, spend a couple minutes doing really, really simple, just warming up my hands, and then I would just go, right? Melee is just different that way. And so to me, when I see a lot of the people who are streaming like that, and especially when they're playing to the stream with that attitude of getting frustrated and stuff, to me it's just not fun, because I just don't really think I'm not seeing someone get better at the game. I'm seeing someone struggle with their own frustrations over and over and over again. And I have to be honest, I've seen a lot of that. And I would expect, this is going to sound extremely mean and very callous, and I feel really bad saying this because, you know, it's not a truly professional scene. But I would expect someone who's getting paid to play this game to have some stuff on lock. To be super honest with you. And that is always the impression I get from some of the people who stream in the game, or some of the people who make content from getting frustrated, or some of the people who, you know, you see the people who stream who are like, all low tier, people who play mid tier should just give up. You know, stuff like that. You still see the attitude really, really frequently. And it's a lot of, like, you know, a lot of the people who are prominent in the community, you know, getting funny looking clips about how they flip off about a character, and then but the people who play those characters have to deal with the repercussions of a really popular clip memeing on them, right? It's, so I don't know. I know that sounds really harsh, but I've also just seen so frequently I'll be honest and say that I get very mad playing Melee or the rhythm game you saw in Harley's chat, but I am a big self-blamer or self-beat-downer, if that makes sense. Trying to improve, though, just hard. Yeah, honestly, if you need help with that stuff, I'm actually pretty good at it. That's probably the things I handle best in this game. But yeah, like, I think to me, like, I can't be doing this every time and feeling that way about myself or feeling like that beat down. I need to be able to enjoy this experience first. So that's what I really tried to work on with the game. Yeah, I can talk a bit about, if it's helpful, I'll try to talk about some mentality stuff too when I'm playing. I also am really into meditation, although I haven't done it in a couple days because I've just been, well, actually the weather quality has been really bad and I didn't want to sit and breathe really hard for half an hour, so. I'm getting all klutzy and fussy again with this practice in here. But I'm also a pretty big believer that the only person you're ever really fighting is yourself when you play these kind of games. Because I think frequently people know a lot more than they think they know, and what's obstructing them is just the feelings of stress and anxiety. Alright, I have to fight someone or I'm gonna go crazy. Sorry, this is you got me on a topic that was really good or that I wanted to talk about, and I'm not good at doing the practice. Now I'm just rambling, blah blah blah, you know. Okay. I personally would love to hear about mental self-improvement. I have so many clips of me slamming my hand on the table playing the rhythm game, it's not even funny. Yeah, when I was getting back into the game, my friend was joking with me that I would slam my thigh so hard that I was gonna break one of my bones eventually, or break my hand or something. But yeah, I'll try. I gotta think of a good jumping off point for that too. Also, if you ever need help, please feel free to DM me or something too. I've written a lot about this to friends and stuff, so I don't, I feel kind of confident talking about it, but yeah. Okay, play some game here. Foe. So the first thing that I try to think about, first thing that I do is SD. Yeah, that's okay. Alright. It's free rank today, so you're going to be seeing quite a bit of that. So first thing you got to understand, actually, okay, let's talk about when people do bad, for example. So one of the things that I learned is that very frequently when people BM or when people, let's say, act out in the game, I'm trying to use my words carefully because I want to say this in a nice way, but basically when people behave like that, more often than not, they are actually extremely anxious, and they are using that to cover for that, right? So when you see things like that, oops. It's there, I just gotta find it. Yeah, I know, I was actually super surprised I hit that one. Because they were trying to cheese me off a little bit with that too, and I'm like kind of happy that that worked out that way. Oops. But yeah, basically that was one of the things I really started learning, because a lot of the times when people do that stuff, they're trying to get into your head or trying to validate their own feelings of anxiety, right? So if they can get you at that same level, then yeah, they're right. This is a hard game. This is something that they can validate feeling that jerk, you know, asshole-ish about, basically. But if you think about it from a perspective of they are doing that because they kind of feel probably pretty similar, and that's how they handle it, that's how they deal with it, it just gets a lot easier. And it helps you take yourself out of the situation too, because oops, I thought there was going to be a rest there. It helps you take the situation out of it too, because it makes it a little more mechanical. Which is another thing that's really good to do sometimes, is like train your own emotions to respond in sort of a, like, have a pattern of thought and stuff for like that. So when I see, wow, bad connection, I'm just like, oh, he's just anxious, he's just nervous, and then I kind of just like, all right, whatever. Then I just GG's or just exit, and I'm like, all right, you seem a little stressed right now, maybe I'll let you get some games in. And the other thing too is that keeps me from getting too upset with them, which is also not going to help me out too much. I try to always envision in my head that the person that I'm fighting is like some 14-year-old kid or something, because I'm going to be super frank, it's not worth it to get pissed off at someone who's that, like, it's just not. What am I going to get out of that, you know? I'm 34 years old, you know? I'm 20 years older than that person. No matter what, I'm going to be expected to be a little bit more mature in that situation anyway. So honestly, you know, if it's a situation like that, I'd rather just not spend time with them too. And I will say I'm lucky because I'm in a region where I can basically turn on unranked, and then I'm just good, right? I can just play. So that's kind of nice to be able to have that experience. And because like I've seen friends and stuff, like I'll watch my buddy Zap play on EU, and it's just it is lots of crickets. Fox is a little bit harder to keep up with, so. Oops. Oops. Hold on a sec here. One sec here. I'm apologize, Suki. I'm going to focus on this game with the Fox, because Fox always Please don't make me explain it more. I'm sorry. Let me finish this game. I'm sorry. Please don't be mad at me. Oops. Oop. Oop. Ah, my brain. Sorry. Apparently Jigglypuff Fox is a really big stretch for my brain to attempt to get through. Oops. Let's try that again. Okay. One sec here. Let me my back. Oh, that was a good stretch. Yeah. Yeah, no worries. I just want to apologize because I was keeping up normally, but yeah, Spaceys is I always try to treat like. Well, I think I should talk about that later. But anyway, so I always wonder how people can not care what other people think. Like, I have a theory about myself that I can't reaction tech chase or chain grab Sheik Dittos because I'm afraid that they get mad. So for me, how I kind of got over some of that stuff is just basically like, if someone doesn't want to deal with that, then they'll leave, and then you just kind of find another person to play, and that's kind of where I've gotten with the point at this game, because I feel like a lot of those habits are only things you really see at low level at this point, especially if you go on ranked, which is why sometimes if I really want to do chain grabs and stuff like that, I'll just go on ranked, because I know that they're not going to just BM right away. But to me, you know, like when I play Pikachu, right, someone starts chain grabbing me, or someone like, let me put it this way, being a Pikachu player, you're always going to have to deal with that person who gets tilted and rage picks Sheik and just tries to spam chain grab openings on you, right? Like you just, it's any character you play, you're going to have that moment where someone gets upset, goes to the and tries to go for the meta pick to mess with your head. And for me, it was at a point, for me, it was just like, well, honestly, I'm just going to have to deal with this no matter what. And it's a lot more satisfying to see someone get frustrated, do a counter pick, and then be able to counter their counter pick just because I have good game planning or because I figured this stuff out. And then it also just helps. It's at that point, it's almost like a bot, right? Like it's you're almost playing the Slippy bot, because they're only going to do one thing, right? They're going to get so frustrated and they're just going to shoot for one goal over and over and over again, right? So not that that's what you do, by the way, not saying that, but to me, like, that's kind of what I'll just think then. It's like, all right, sure, I need the practice. So and it's honestly, it's part of the game too. Like, I think at this point, you know, the game's been out for like a hot minute, you know. If you're not prepped for the realities of what the punish game is in this, I think that's kind of on the player's responsibility. So I don't really think you should feel bad for trying to play the game well, you know. Because the other thing too is so often people just shut down with something like that when they start getting punished too. And you don't need to shut down when you're getting punished. You can respond to it. There's a lot of ways to make chain grabs at least interactive, at the very least interesting, you know. Subtle DI, slight DI, you struggling. We're struggling with reaction tech chasing. Well, just watch them, because they're watching you, right? So there's got to be there's always a way to figure something out, you know. There's almost always an answer to any question in this game. Excuse me. Anyway, and that's like that is a good way to think. I'm just like, okay, I'll curl up in a ball, I guess. Now, don't. You should really, like, it's okay to have fun with these games. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say, but it really is okay to enjoy this hobby. And I think so many people, when they enter into this, think that they almost can't have fun with it, or that it can't be something that they can smile through or have a good time with, or something. Like they're not playing it at the high enough level then, or that they're not pushing. I don't know what, whatever, right? Um, Sports psychology is kind of complicated, right? So, I mean, you know what top level looks like. And if people don't want to engage with someone stretching for that, then I guess they don't have to. But I think that is the advantage of ranked right now, is that ranked is basically a place where you can say, well, yeah, I'm going to basically play as hard as I can. That is entirely the point of being on ranked. And the nice thing about being on ranked is that the other person is also thinking the same thing, which is why I think ranked is a really good way to start developing your skill set, because like right now, if you go on ranked right now, and you're playing a Sheik Ditto, right? And you start chain grabbing them, and they just disconnect. You won the game. You just won a free rank game, right? No ifs and or buts. That person quit out because... So... Sometimes when something like that happens to me, I'm just thinking like, wow, I'm pretty darn good at the game then, because I'm willing to handle that stuff, or something like that, because a lot about this game is just what you're willing to take as you progress and learn it too. Yeah, sorry, hopefully that's a little bit helpful too, but I mean, really, it's so important to make sure that you're able to do this and feel positive, and I do think that is a big part of this game, is people want to like kind of beat you in a way where you feel like you don't even really want to play anymore. And I mean, I get it. I was a teenager once too, but I think I have been through so much shit in my life at this point. I don't need another source of pointless frustration, so I just want to make this work for me. And I think one of the interesting things about Melee is if you stick around and you just take it, unless you're hacks, unfortunately, you just stick around and take it long enough, eventually you can fit a square peg in a round hole. It seems impossible, but if you just put the work into it. So, and I think that's really unique in this game. I think that's something that's kind of unique in the annals of competitive gaming, is the fact that if you just stick with... Because there's a guy who plays Bowser who's in Grandmaster right now. Like, I don't think anybody has any... Okay, sorry about that. Should be good now. Just a bit of pixelation there. Sorry about that, guys. I'm not quite sure why that happens. I wonder if there's not enough motion on the screen that sometimes it cuts back on the... Whatever. Anyway, not a big deal. But yeah, sorry about that, guys. I didn't actually get... I didn't answer too much of it yet. That looks like that hit before. But yeah, let me know... Oops, sorry. But yeah, anyway, let me just reread the comment again in case anybody missed that. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, that happened at like an hour on the dot too. That's weird. I think ranked in tourneys I am okay with lame play, but the problem is I can't practice it on real opponents. I think like I legitimately made my slippy name lame play pracky just to warn them. I think... I mean, yeah, sometimes I feel like I gotta say like chain grab, like practicing chain grabs or something like that, but it's also, again, because it is something that's fairly close to a sport in the identity you have to have when you play the game. Sorry, I'm just double checking the OBS right now too. Because of that, to me it's like honestly, look at the flow chart of what's going to happen if you chain grab or play like that in unranked, right? Either they're going to get frustrated and play frustrated against you, which is just teaching you how to play against frustrated, or they're going to quit out or disconnect or whatever. So more than likely, if you just stick with that, you don't even really need to say that. You can just say like you can just play like that, and they'll let you know what they want to handle, right? You'll you'll really get a good idea of what they want to deal with, because they'll probably just let you know what you're playing. So I think it's not necessary to really do that. And I also think that a lot of these attitudes come from such a specific part of the player base at this point that it's kind of, and I mean, with certain qualities to the player base that kind of make it easier for me to ignore than maybe some of the more coherent voices, let's say. But you know, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to. I didn't take any of my meds. I'm probably gonna have to take a break soon. I'm getting a little bit sniffly here, so I apologize for that. But yeah, I think it's just. I think a lot of these things are more about just having your own self-confidence. You know, I think it can be easy to feel like you're being mean to someone in this, because people will react so abrasively too. And just having the self-confidence to be able to put yourself in the situation. 1 second. I'm gonna. Sorry. Sorry, I'm gonna give you guys a break on the hearing me cough up like that, but I'm sorry. And yeah, that is fair. It is more about them than me. I get that. Just have to laugh it off. And yeah, I mean, you can. The other thing that I'll say too, and this is hard for me to deal with, is the fact that when you get upset, it's okay to take a break in the game. So sometimes when I play this game, and I play someone and they're you know, giving me that look, right? And I'm responding to it more than I feel like I should be. Sometimes I say to myself, like, you know, maybe I'm not really in a place where I should be doing this right now. If I'm getting that, you know, set off by someone in an unranked game or something like that, right? Because again, the nice thing with Slippy is you can just press Z if you don't want to keep playing them on unranked, and then, you know, it doesn't matter if they spam. They can spam LOL and WoW as much as they want, but you're just gonna be gone, right? So, I think that's something that's really important to keep in mind, because Slippy is such a powerful tool to play and practice this game, because you have the freedom to really pick and choose your own moments. You don't have to wait for a tournament or anything like that. You don't have to beg someone to try to figure out how to make net play work. You don't have to wait a month for the one local in your region to happen. You can just log on, right? So, and I think the other thing too is it's also important to understand that a lot of the bad habits that people have, everybody recognizes them as bad habits, and no one really, like, you're not in the minority feeling the way that you feel about how to practice in this game, right? You're not alone with that. And I think that's important to understand too. I think it's also really important to, man, I'm sorry, I'm giving you all this info right now. It's also really important to go into unranked with some goals and stuff for what you want to practice or do. Like, if you just want to play unranked and just press buttons, that's fine, right? Just be cool about that. Like, but then, you know, when something happens and you're like, oh, but I'm just here to have fun and press buttons, and don't get upset about it, right? Like, if I just start randomly playing, I don't know how to play Jigglypuff at all. I don't have I'll do the blue one because I'll just do Naked Puff. I don't know how to play Jigglypuff at all right now. I've spent maybe less than this is probably the character. This is maybe one of the few characters in this game I've spent less than an hour total playing. I think I can actually probably say that. So if I enter a game like right now playing, like, what am I thinking of then? Because I'm probably not going to kill it with Puff, right? I don't know how to. I am not Ben. I apologize. You'll probably see very quickly that I'm not Ben either. So what am I really doing right now? Well, I'm kind of just goofing off. I'm having fun. I'm testing. So right now, like, I'll just let's just test some of the attacks out. You know, nice shield grab. Everybody can shield grab. So everybody wave dashes. Everybody dash dances. Playing a fox. The fox hates me just because I exist. I'm aware of that. It's okay. I think about, like, okay, what have I seen other Puff players do? That kind of shit, right? But like, I'm not worried about like I'm probably not gonna win this game, right? And if I do, it's just because this matchup's busted or something. But it's also unranked too, right? So like, they're also probably, they might not be going in to win too. They might literally just be practice stuff, right? And like, oh man, am I gonna get frustrated because I died playing a character I've never practiced before, right? It sounds weird, but like, you know, just take some of the risk out of it for yourself sometimes. Like, one of the other things I would tell people to practice is like, when they started playing the game, I would tell them like, listen, when you warm up, just SD a bunch. And they'll be like, I don't want to SD. And I'm like, yeah, I know you don't want to SD right now because it makes you feel bad. But right, like if it was just me and a friend warming up, right, I would just be like, get rid of that physical, sorry, that was really cheesy, I'm sorry about that. A little bit of shield. Free punish there. This character's kind of fun. Oops. That was not rest at all, was it? I don't want to do that anymore, but we'll give him a well played there. Because that's not my character. But see, like, I pretty clearly lost that decisively. I think the other person even knew. Honestly, I thought that Fox was going to be a lot, like, more aggressive on that, too. But they were playing pretty chill, too. And that's the other thing is, like, the only time you're ever really going to have a good idea of what the other person is doing is ranked, right? And even then, you never know if you're going to play someone who's just come home from the bar or just got out eat. Whatever, you don't know the headspace anybody's ever going to completely be at. Rank just gives you a pretty decent idea of that. So in that situation, for example, I expected the Fox to be a little bit more aggressive, just because I assumed, you know, the Fox would see that I'm not a very good Jigglypuff. But maybe the Fox player was like, oh, he's not a very good Jigglypuff. I'm just going to work around that and see what I can figure out on my own in that situation. And it's just simple stuff like that where you it's not in that, like, don't set expectations. And I think goals might be the wrong attitude too, because you're not always going to feel like you're progressing in this, but just having giving yourself some metrics to play around, so you understand that you're not just always punishing yourself with your losses and your failures in this game, right? I think it's really, really important. Like, okay, here's I saw an interview with Mango where and it's Mango, right? So Mango, I can just say it. I saw an interview with Mango, and Mango said, "Oh, I don't care about unranked. I'll lose friendlies all day of the week. You know, I'll lose every friendly for the whole day. I won't really care about that because it's friendly. You're just practicing, right?" And that's Mango, right? So that's the attitude that I try to have with unranked. You know, there's definitely ways to practice that pressure of like, you know, you get to last stock and then you're like, all right, now I'm going to try to play for real. But honestly, you know, you should just be, if you really want to be practicing that, you should just be playing for real from the start, right? It can be kind of fun to play and try to focus and play from the back like that, but I don't really think you're necessarily building the best habits for yourself. Because again, it's also like, imagine if you're playing someone and they're not even really trying, and you're working your butt off thinking you're doing something great and unranked, and then it was just somebody goofing off, you know? So those are things that I think are really important to keep in mind when you're playing ranked. The Nero.net. So like here, you can see this guy's doing a lot of dash, wave, dash. So he's probably just getting himself warmed up here. Oops, sorry. Hands are a little stiff here this morning too. I apologize for that. But I can also talk a little bit about like what I'm thinking about when I do unranked practice too. So right now I'm just trying to keep it kind of clean, so I'm not trying to do too many rolls at the moment. I don't feel like that threatened with the pressure that he's giving right now, so I don't feel like I need to be doing these desperation moves to get out of things. I'm trying to make sure that I'm focusing on just using dash and wave dash to get through situations. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not like just landing on top of him, especially when I'm coming down from a recovery or something like that. Trying to be conscious of the patterns that I'm using myself. See, I did a roll there, and I'm like, I didn't need to roll there. Rolls are good in this game. There's nothing wrong with it necessarily. It's just, what are the things that you do frequently in the game, and then can you get success off not using them, right? And you see like that situation there, right? So something that I'll do a lot is when you're doing footsies, man, I want to make a video on dash dancing because it's yeah, no worries. You're my mod. I think you can get this for free. I'm not going to be super sore about it. Also, anytime I ever like talk about like, hey, coaching, everybody just makes fun of me, so fuck it. So yeah, you're good. Don't worry about it. Let me get through this game quick. But yeah, feel free to ask questions. I like talking about this. This is something that I feel like I know decently well too, so I like normally I feel like I have to say like, well, you know, I'm only a scrub, so don't worry about it, but I do kind of think I have some of this mentality stuff on lock. Oops. Okay. So now the pressure is a little bit more, and I'm just struggling to like contextualize what is going to be an effective counter to what they're doing. So now I have to think a little bit more. You can see that they're being a little bit more cautious now, going for more like simple guaranteed openings when they play. Being a little bit more, they're trying to do the footsies more too. Nope. You can see they were trying to do the footsies a little bit more too, just because I was dash dancing a lot more too. Sorry, geez, here, I'll chat disabled. We'll just do the, actually, I'll play another game here. I don't care. But a lot of, like one time, like something you can do when someone is, when you start dash dancing, you see the other person dash dancing. Oops, okay, I thought they were gonna die for a second. But I try to think about the game in a very, so I also like, I watch a lot of combat sports too, so I always try to make the same comparisons in my head of like cutting off ring space or cutting off cage space. So to me, that's a big part of like why you do dash dancing and footsies and stuff, is you're trying to just jockey for position and see if you can get a better advantage than the other person. Oops. I remember I asked Axe, the Pikachu player. Oops. Oh, come on. How can you be doing better than this? So also right now I'm thinking, okay, he's being pretty aggressive, but I feel like I'm struggling with that. I think in my head that I can actually take on what he's doing directly. Like I don't need to be dashing away and running from it. So I'm trying to be a little bit more, I'm trying to just like set my feet down, so to speak, and like not, when he does situations like that, not roll back as much, like try and generally fight there. That was a mistake because his F smash is going to beat mine out, but basically, trying to challenge his approaches a little bit more because I think I can handle it. Oops. Because he's running away a lot too, I feel pretty comfortable just doing like pretty gnarly overshoots and stuff. They're also doing they're also really like setting the pace of the game right now. So I'm also really letting them do that. Oh, all right, now we're gonna call that out. But they were really setting the pace of the game there. So for me, it was really easy to like they would start dash dancing, and I'm like, okay, so now they're gonna do something where they're gonna dash dance and watch me to see what I'm gonna do and get a reaction off of that, right? So honestly, you don't really have to do. I mean, like, you never really want to be standing still in this game, but you also don't have to play ball with them sometimes. Like if you see someone else like trying to do something like that, you don't have to play ball with them all the time. So in a situation like that, you can kind of just like under move or kind of take the advantage of that, you know, maybe subtly inch back a little bit to give yourself more space so you can react to what they're doing, because they're going to be hot, you know, they're going to be watching any even slight movement that you do, and they're going to be trying to get on it. So in a situation like that, it's kind of like, yeah, all right, you can lead the dance right now because I'm feeling pretty comfortable responding to your aggression. And I did, and unfortunately they got those SDs, but that is what happens. And you know, so part of why you want to be nice in this game, because it is just a hard game too. Excuse me. Copied it. I might have to make another cup soon, but sorry to delay the question, but yeah. So Suki again asks, quick question: do you know anything about Grand Blue Fantasy versus Red? I'm super sorry. If that is a gacha game or anything like that, I'm not going to be able to have any info on that for the most part. I stick with this kind of stuff, but feel free to ask anyway. I'm gonna catch my breath for a second here. Get pretty excited. Oh, no worries, you're good. But yeah, unfortunately not an expert, but hit me. Using this as an excuse to stretch my hands outside. Oh, the music's off too. Do stretches, guys. We'll do a little self-care checkpoint. Self-care, best care. Just grab some water or snacks if you feel like you need them. Rest your eyes if you've been staring at a screen too long, like I just realized I have been. Do some stretching. Make sure to get some, just a little bit of blood flow in your body. You know, that's one of the big thing you want to be doing when you stand up is just making sure nothing's, you know, nothing's getting too coagulated. You know. But that's another thing too about you know, playing a video game. It's okay to respect the physical realities. You know, you're not a robot jacking into this right now. You are sitting and interfacing with this to some capacity, and the muscles in your hand are connected to the muscles in the rest of your body, whether you like to believe it or not. Unfortunately. So stuff like this, you know, sometimes when you're getting a lot of stress and you're putting a lot of your stuff, when you're putting a lot of stress on yourself mentally, you can be doing, putting a lot of stress on yourself physically as well. So having a good mind-body awareness is really important, I think, to just keep this stuff relaxed and fun and healthy. Like, I do actually think that wiggling around, dancing a bit in your chair when you're playing and stuff too, I think those are actually not bad, not bad habits to get into. Just because I had heard that the worst thing that you can do is just kind of sit and be really static. And I had heard that, you know, even if you're moving your background, like even if you tend to goblin squat a bit forward, as long as you're aware of that and like keep adjusting yourself, it's not the worst thing in the world. Just make sure that you're striving for good posture, but even if you're moving around a lot, that isn't the worst. That's actually not bad. Oh, do your stretches, please. And Nasuki asks, okay, so I'm very new to the game and I was looking for a character to main, and my choice was Nier, which I thought looked extremely cool, but unfortunately is a broken S tier, kind of like Jiggly in Melee or Meta Knight in Brawl. And I noticed that a lot of the hate for Nier players were getting, and then a lot of Nier players were getting quite a bit of hate for playing that lame character. Excuse me. And I have been too scared to play her because any game I play, I feel like I don't earn because of her being broken, even though I only have 30 hours in the game. So what would the question be in this situation? You just, should you feel bad for playing a good character in the game? I don't really think so. The game's really new, right? Do your stretches. Don't get old like I did and forget to take care of yourself. Do your stretches. Okay, and how would I get over said fear and not care what other thinks? And mainly a question to myself is, how do I see my victories as a victory instead of a fluke from my opponent not knowing how to play against a broken character? That is a good question. How long has the game been out? Is it something where this is like an established meta with the character at this point? Or is the game still pretty new? Is this stuff all getting figured out? Because if it was like, the thing with Melee is that none of the characters are really so broken at this point in the game that, like, there really isn't a situation with, if you just immediately pick Jigglypuff, that you're choosing an S tier character. It doesn't quite work like that, like it does with other games. 14th December. Oh, that's really new. Yeah, honestly, I just play the character. If you like the character, just play the. I mean, if you're, who cares? Who cares? You know, if you like the character, just keep playing it. I think the big thing is just be aware of what the meta is and stuff like that. And I mean, you're a pretty thoughtful person, so I think you'll be able to figure out kind of when stuff is being irritated or not. And I mean, you can do a lot of like, you know, if you feel like something that you're using is broken, don't use it. Always be challenging yourself with the character. Just try to be figuring out as much as possible with it. If you expect it's going to be patched, maybe just play it for fun right now. Don't take it too seriously. If people BM, well, it's kind of like I said. I mean, if it's anything like Slippy, where you have a kind of a lot of people to play and choose from, you know, some people are probably going to want to play against it, and some people aren't. So, and it's also, to be honest, with a game like that too, it's kind of as much the responsibility of the devs to put out, if they put out a character like that too. I don't really think it makes sense to be blamed for doing that. And I mean, if they have tournaments and the character is banned from the tournaments, well then, you know. And there's also a chance that you're gonna, you know, you've only got 30 hours in the game. There might be another character that you end up liking too eventually. So I don't know. I wouldn't stress too much about it. I probably wouldn't, if you personally acknowledge that the character is overpowered or not balanced very well. Because I died from choking on my own phlegm here. I think I would just keep that. It's kind of like what we said about unranked, just keeping the goals in mind that you have for it. Like if you're playing the character, you kind of know it's busted, but you're just having fun. What, is one person playing a broken character on unranked gonna kill anybody? So I haven't played the game since April 12th, and that is mainly from fear of the community, even though 99% of the community is kind of... If anybody stops by your stream and starts ragging on you for that, you can ban them. Like, who cares? Someone being... It doesn't... If someone's being a jerk to you, more than likely, everybody around you is going to look at that person and be like, wow, that person's being a jerk to you right now, you know? And if the community is what you say it is, then I think most people will understand what you're doing. So I wouldn't stress about it. Again, it's just, you know, what do you want to do in the game? I think, you know, if it was something where you were playing the game at the top level and expecting to be a part of tournaments or something, well, you might have a different question to yourself then. But I think you'd be asking yourself a different question anyway at that point. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. Just have fun. If it's a thing where you're not having fun with the character because you feel the character is broken, I would switch to a different character. You know, I don't think you should be sitting but I also think, you know, game's less than 6 months old, meta's still developing, you've only got so many hours in it, and so. And fair, I don't ever take any game too seriously, even Melee really, just for fun, but it's hard to have fun when the fear is constantly there. Yeah, and I think it just sounds like you need to practice, almost practice just keeping yourself able to have that good time, keeping yourself able to have fun. Because it sounds like you put a lot of pressure on yourself either way, right? Because you're always thinking, like, what is the other person thinking? Or like, am I doing this the right way? And honestly, it's okay to not know if you're doing things the right way in low-level unranked gaming. Right? That's why we're playing on low level. I don't know. If Axe fought me, I'd lose to Axe 100 times out of 100 times, right? That's just what's going to happen. And I can sit there and say, like, oh, am I doing this right? Or, you know, am I just getting beaten up over and over again? Or, like, what can I get out of the situation, right? So, you know, I think I hate to be the guy, but, you know, take a deep breath when you have those feelings of being overwhelmed or feeling like you're not doing something right. Sit back for a second and think, okay, I'm playing a video game right now, here, right now. You know, they're not in the room with me, they're not going to be in the room with me. I know that I'm not actively working to make their lives terrible, I'm just playing the game, right? You don't seem like someone who's going to start teabagging constantly or whatever, just to get under someone's skin, right? So I think it's just really important to remember that, you know, you're trying your best to make things fun for other people, because I mean, obviously I can tell that is a very prominent. You know, everything you've talked about has basically been, I'm worried that the other person is going to be upset with me. And the other thing to understand, this is competitive gaming. So yeah, eventually somebody is going to be upset with you, literally no matter what you do. Literally no matter what you do. You've seen people who see that you pick Sheik and hate you, and that's it. That's your life now. You're playing someone who just hates you because you pick Sheik, and that's what you're not responsible for that at the end of the day. They are choosing to play the competitive game with you. If they can't handle the fact that you're playing that character, they probably don't really like the competitive game all that much, and they probably just either enjoy winning or just a very small aspect of it, right? So I would just try to put less pressure on yourself, you know? I don't see someone who's going out of their way to taunt someone or make someone else feel bad or hurt someone's feelings. It sounds like you're very conscious of the other person when you play. So that's what I would say. And I know that, you know, easier said than done, obviously, but at the end of the day, you know, I don't think, I think it's okay to acknowledge it. You know, if someone else is behaving in a way that maybe doesn't feel very appropriate, it's okay to acknowledge that that person isn't being appropriate right now. That is the advantage of potentially anonymous online play, or partially, you know, is the fact that you don't, like, if I was in a tournament local and I was just playing friendlies and something with someone, you know, not a lot of people are at the local. You might just have to sit with the person who's cussing you out every time you do anything at all. You don't have to do that here, you know. They don't want to handle it. They don't want that smoke. Move on. You know. Yeah, it's most certainly a me issue and an overthinking issue, but it's so hard not to overthink, especially when you overthink about everything, and I have autism too. Yeah, and another thing is, I would also really recommend getting into meditation and stuff like that, because it can really help formulate your thoughts, and help understand sensory impulses and stuff like that too. I'm not a doctor, just FYI, so I don't want to say that this is a magic cure-all, but it definitely really helped me for situations like that where I would sort of defeat myself by over analyzing situations that didn't really need to be analyzed or looked at in that way. You know, it's important to let yourself relax and understand that every situation with another person is not starting off from a hostile point. It isn't inherently hostile. If the other person makes it hostile, that's your choice to react to that, right? But you don't have to follow that. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to take that either, to be honest. I did try to pick it up at one point, but I fell off, though I try my best to close my eyes and breathe when I get nervous or start overthinking. And that's a really good habit to have, too. And it's really hard. Meditation is really tough to be settled with. But just starting to build those ideas of, like, even just having, like, I think it's really important to be able to see when you're getting frustrated and just be able to close your eyes for a second, say relax. Because if you're able to do that, you're able to sort of, you're taking your frustration and you're not legitimizing it as this true thing that you're feeling. You're able to separate yourself from that emotion for a second, say relax, and like stop myself and be like, okay, wait, you know, is this anxiety even me right now, or is it the am I getting stressed? Is my body starting to hurt because I'm playing this game? All of those things are things you can be aware of and just try to be, you know, sometimes I'll be really upset and I'll think I'll be getting upset at the game, but I realize my hands just hurt really badly and I wasn't paying attention. So anyway, I'm going to take a short break here because my throat is really sore. I'm going to make some more coffee, and then I think we're going to try some ranked today. I have really been enjoying talking about mentality stuff, but it's been like most of the stream, so I want to get to some ranked because it is the title today. But I'll be taking a short break here to just get some water boiling and stuff like that. Yeah. Thank you very much for the tips. Yeah, and definitely, if there's stuff that you want to talk to off stream about, there's stuff you want to talk to me about off stream as well. Don't feel shy or awkward, or that it's something that I'm going to be inapproachable about. I want to be really friendly and make sure you feel comfortable talking to me about this stuff too. Because I get it. You can put a lot of pressure on yourself in these situations. But anyway, taking a break here. I'm gonna make some more coffee and then we're gonna get back at it. I want to thank again Suki for being the ever so helpful mod here today and just giving me some back and forths to help me talk too. And yeah, we'll come back in a little bit here, and we're gonna grind. I'm gonna try and just see what I can do with pika rank today. We're gonna put our nose to the grindstone a bit here. Hello, hello. Med check as well, by the way. I just took mine, so. Figure other people might want the reminder. Alright, so after talking up a storm about mentality, let's see how much of it I can actually put into practice without getting my butt kicked. Yeah, no worries. Welcome back. Say the same to you. Alright. One more small session with unranked just to keep the hands warm, and then we're going to get going. Yeah, I'm glad I did some unranked first. Oops. Oops. Well, that's fine. It's not a smart choice on my part. Neither was that. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono. Yoko Ono. John Lennon. Oops. You can see how hesitant this guy is around shield. It's kind of interesting. You see, Falcos are going to eat up anybody's shield. They're just like really excited about getting on it. Just mistimed that little bitty there. How am I rolling too when I get started? Yeah, see. Oops. Oh no. Dang it. Dang it. Oh no. Oh shit. Shoot. Nah. I wouldn't have killed either. Just need a little bit more, Right now I'm definitely playing like I just took my, anxiety medication. Oops. Nice tech, shit. Nah, that sucks. Good tech though. Oh, dang it. Yeah, don't like coffee around here, I guess, huh? Nah. Dang it. Oops, oh shoot. Ah, no. Oops. Uh-oh. I think the people downstairs get mad when I make coffee or something. Because I just made some coffee and now they're like all snapping around. Oops. A little bit of the old Cirque du Soleil here. Oop. Ah, right. Oops, oh my god. Ah, okay. It's fun, GG's. Sorry. Sorry, man. Just saying that. Oh, no worries, no worries. We're just trying to focus right now anyway, as it is. So I'm just trying to get in a good headspace here. Unfortunately, I took some sometimes when I take my my meds, there's a little bit of a change in how my head works, and it just takes some time. And what music? I hear a lot of like automated bots and stuff like that have been really struggling lately. So I'm sorry to hear about that, but hopefully you have some fun with looking through new stuff. Let's play the game here. Shattered. Ready? Go! Oops. Stream Elements music system is going bad, so back to Nightbot. Weird. So I had a friend who was having trouble with OBS. So they just recently went back to Stream Elements. Sorry, they're doing the thumping thing downstairs. I gotta. Oh, I gotta figure something out for that because they only do it when I stream, and it really is extremely distracting. It's also kind of annoying because like I'll be just sitting talking to myself, and it's like thump thump thump, like hey, all right. Well, now it started up because I make coffee, so the everything just seems like it's getting more complicated by the second, you know? Oops. Oh no, okay. Come on. Oh, no, 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 no. Ah. Sorry, my focus is trash right now. I apologize. Someday I live in a house by myself, but not right now. Alright, I gotta take a... I'm sorry, I just gotta stop for just a moment here. This gets a little annoying. So, 1 second, small. Okay, sorry about that. Ugh. Oh, frustrated these days about this shit. Alright, hopefully that's taking a break for a moment. Catching me with those slick late up airs. Okay, I'm starting to do a little better here. Oops. I was hoping that would be a little bit more slick. Oops. Oops. Ah, come on. Okay. Oh, thank you. But I got through that okay without any issues. Oh no 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 no. Oops. Oh, shit. Did I make it back? Oh, that sucks. Lucky with that miss there. That was pretty open shot for them, unfortunately. Just missed that up air. I was doing that fair there. So that was a little bit of a vulnerability. Dang it. It's a bummer. Oops, fuck. There we go. Oh, man. Oops, fudge. There we go. Oh, no. Okay. Would have been slick, but... Oops. Damn it. Dang it. GG's. Good session. It was fun. Sorry. It just takes a lot out of me. It's kind of... Definitely know that it affects the quality of the stream. I know it's not something people want to be hearing too much about right now, but it's pretty frequently stuff like this gets fallen on deaf ears. So I'm trying to be a little bit more upfront about it these days. But yeah, it's getting... I can't keep moving to places where every time I talk over or whisper, people are stamping, making a bunch of noise and shit. So I'm sorry that this keeps coming up, guys. I don't mean to be for this to be too abrasive, but the consistency has been getting really it's just tough to deal with. So anyway, it's just kind of annoying, but we'll figure something out for it later, I guess. Because it's pretty loud. The good news is that it's pretty loud this time, so probably have a friend come over and lay on the floor while I do this next time, and we'll see what happens. But I was taking a shower and it sounded like someone was banging on the walls while I was doing it, so I'm just getting kind of just burnt out from having to keep being this guy in this situation. You know, it just kind of sucks because I don't want to be someone who's like, you know, going to people saying that stuff, because I know I got my mouth just sometimes goes off. I don't always have the best control of it, but you know, you feel like you're getting picked on for being someone that can't help being themselves after a while. It just gets a little tiring. You know, you try to talk to the management or the landlord, and they're just like, well, what am I supposed to do? And you're like, anything, because you've done you seem confused that human beings need have basic needs, so I feel like a little weird that I have to keep explaining it to you. But yeah, so I'm just tired. Sorry. And I'm also super sorry. My meds are just ripping through me right now. I actually feel a lot worse than when I started taking them, so which is a little bit annoying too. So sorry about that. But, just give me a couple seconds to browse here. I'll see if I can get this coming back. All right. Yeah, I'll probably have a friend come over later. But it just gets so tiring to have to manage other people. They're so fucking creepy, man. Anyway, take another little break here. I'll figure some out for that later. I got some plans. But yeah. Sorry that keeps coming up, but bow, 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 bow. Oops. Shit. Oops. Dang it. Sometimes you try to go low and it doesn't really work out that well. Oops. No, 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 no. Oops. Oh, jeez. There we go. Not sure why I just stood there, but that's okay. This fox is pretty good. It's always nice to get a chance to play a decent fox, especially if you're trying to warm up, because they're pretty good. They're so fast usually too. It's one of those. I think fox is one of the few characters. If you had someone who was a really good fox player, and that was like all you could practice against. I think you really wouldn't need to worry about practicing against too many other characters. I think especially at low level, just because at low level, you know, performance is the big thing, right? I was in that Ganon ranking explainer video for Slippy. Oops. I wish that guy could get through that video like a little bit longer than more than like 5 minutes without talking about it being high all the time, but that's okay, I guess. That is the community. Oops. That's a sick shine. Oh. It's short, no big deal. Just happens. That's what it's unranked for. Come on. Oh, sick. Sick ledge dash. Oh shoot. Oops, fuck. Sorry, that's a weird noise. Dang it. Good shine though, shit. Ow, that sucks.
Choose your character. Versus
Alright.
Mark. Ready? Go.
Oops. Oh no, that would have been slick, man. I used to be a cool Pikachu player. Now, I don't even know who I am. Spending half my time playing Ganon. Is that what Axe fought and died for? Oops. Sometimes I'll let myself get hit a couple times because I'm like, I feel that there's this hit that I can get there, and that's actually usually a pretty bad impulse on my part because I'll just kind of like that. Yeah, they demonstrated the situation very well actually. I'll just kind of stand and like let myself get hit by like very obvious stuff, or like let myself see if I can get out of the combo some way. It's honestly, I think it's more of a bad habit than anything else, but... Oops. Ah, shoot. Damn it. Damn it. Shoot. And sometimes you just hold in, just like jump right into them, which is also a bad impulse to have. Oops. Oop. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, you don't gotta be silly about it. Oh, I thought I was gonna have enough space there. Oops. You're losing. I don't know what to tell you, gamer. Actually, you know what? Here. Sorry. How you doing today, Suki? Now, let me ask you something, Suki. Who do you think feels sillier in that situation right now? Because I'm about to queue up into another game and move on with my life. But what do you think about them? Do you think they're feeling good right now, or do you think they still feel upset and frustrated? Like, super honestly, what do you if you're here and you saw that? Because you saw me, I wasn't really paying very much attention to, like, I didn't even really realize that they were getting upset. I was just kind of playing the game, right? So, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good lesson for everything that we were talking about today. But yeah, like that situation, like I just look at them. They just spam spot dodge in place, and then you just look at them. Yeah, see, so just, you know, what I didn't really notice it or get even too tilted by it. They had that weird, like, I can watch some of the game back because there's a bit of a delay on it right now, but you know, so just like treat it like that. Like, if that guy is really, like, come on, that guy probably, if he didn't get tilted, he probably would have beaten me pretty easily too. I'm gonna be honest with you right now, right? Because that was a pretty close game, and all I was really doing was just spamming. At that last stock there, I was just holding shield and waiting for a good chance to do a down smash on the platform, because it was like super right there, and then they just DI'd up, and there was going to get a follow-up off of it, and they knew that, so it just ended the game. I know, I think that's just watching this back a little bit, but yeah, I mean, that was kind of what I talked about. So now I can just, like, I don't know, I'm not really bothered by that right now, and actually a couple seconds afterwards I'm going to take a breath and just be like, alright, cool. I'm not playing them anymore. There's a good chance I'll never have to see them again. Or if I do, they're going to be using a different name and a different tag, and I won't even know it's them, right? So... I realize that's now not helping my argument doing it like that, but yeah. Yeah, see? Like, don't you just, like, do you even remember them right now that hard? Honestly, like, do you even, like, you're probably the one thinking now, like, I don't even care anymore, can we just move on? But see that it can be this freeing thing where you're just like, I don't need to be on that, doing that anymore, so, I don't know. And like, it's not even a big deal. Like, to me, my attitude is like, just leave it there, right? But like, so if it was like something where they came back and apologized, like, I just like, yeah, it's okay, it's okay, it's all good, man. I think you made yourself look a little silly, but that's okay. We all do that sometimes, you know. So yeah, I can just see them spamming spot dodge across halfway across the entirety of FD while I just stare at them, and then they just exit out. So, you know, it's just, I get it. It hurts. It sucks. But there's something to be. You can take a little bit of moments for some pride to just say that I don't need to be that kind of person anymore. And it doesn't have to be vindictive, and it doesn't have to be an ego thing. It's just, you know, everybody's trying to grow as a person, right? Like, I'm still playing this game because it benefits me. There's aspects about this that benefit me, you know, that there's things about this that make me try to work harder on myself. And, you know, if someone's not down with that idea, if they're just going to be there to try to take me out of that feeling and out of that situation, then I don't need to deal with it, because they're undercutting themselves as much as anybody else. People often spam grabs on me, which I try to take as a compliment because it means I learned chain grabs or tech chasing. I try to see that at way least. Yeah, and honestly, like, if you've ever seen a fox where they, okay, I'm gonna embarrass myself like freaking crazy again by doing this, because I know the last time I tried to do it with Falco it sucked, but also Fox makes me sprout black mold in my brain. So if I start talking about how, if I start dropping Republican talking points, I need you to put a bullet in my head. I'm a little fox. I'm a little ant. Look at my little booties. Look at his little booties. Sometimes when I get really mad at Fox, I'm like, look at his funny little... Sorry, anyway. So sometimes you're going to see that situation where you can see a fox, like, it's usually like last stock too, or after something happens that was kind of a very obvious mistake, right? I'll have the spray nozzle ready. Yeah. No, bad. Get off the counter, get off. No. Off the counter. I don't want to say anything more because I don't actually want to get this video flagged, but Marth Fox is 4555. Marth. Sorry. Okay. You might have to just spray me right now, even though I'm not saying anything too bad. But anyway, so what happens is, and this, this isn't gonna work forever, but I do see that even in some tournament sets, this is something that happens sometimes. When a Fox player gets frustrated, what happens is, like, let's say, I don't know, let's say we get the Marth at a nice juicy percent here. Alright, so 65, I think that's a pretty decent, let's say, because that's not quite kill percent either, which kind of makes the example funnier, but, you know, so, like, let's say we just got a really gnarly chain grab on the Fox, right? Like a really juicy chain grab. You know, it's like, let's say it's last stock too, right? So it's just, pretend things are like this as they are right now. So you got the Marth at 65, the Fox just spawned in at 0. He might have his invulnerability left as well. And you'll see him stand still, and then dash dance, and then stand still again. Like that. And they'll watch, and they'll just wait for you to do something, and the first thing they're going to do is, like... And then they just run up, like that. And they'll usually do it from, like, across the stage or something, too. So I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. The Fox is frustrated because of that right now. Right? So they're frustrated, and they're expressing their frustration by wanting to end the stock as quickly as they can, right? So they're just going to do... So so many Fox players will do is just try to show off their dash dance, wait around a bit, they're going to wait for you to react, and then they go bang like that. They want it so bad, and you can feel it. You can feel it when they want it, right? So I think the same thing can happen sometimes with grabs too. You remember, like I was talking about how
Zelda. Mark. Pikachu.
this is gonna look way worse too, because I don't even know. I think it's down A. Yeah, okay. Well, I got that right at least. You know, I'll see it where people will be playing Sheik against me. Especially if they do a counter pick or something like that, right? Then you really know. Sheik's so cool. I actually really like Sheik as a character. I think it's just like it's a ninja. It's just neat. That's beyond. It's a ninja that's beyond gender, which is kind of a fun idea. But oops. Sorry, I should probably get some rank pretty soon too, because I'm getting all movie. But anyway, you know, you'll see that where you'll see the Sheik do the dash dance, stand in place, crouch down, that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, like needle traps and stuff too. Oops. Yeah. Okay, I'm not a. You know, they do the short. And then when you recover, it actually like slows your recovery down a little bit too. If you do it like that, or if you try to like ledge dash. I thought needle traps just blew my mind when I first heard about them, but you'll see the same thing. You know, you see the Sheik. Like suddenly, it's almost like they stop focusing on movement, and then it just very suddenly turns into, like you'll see the change. It's almost like you can feel a switch getting flipped in their head. Like one time too, I was doing some analysis. They didn't really show off anything. I need to stop switching characters when I do these demonstrations because it's not working very well. But sorry, 1 second here. Also, thank you for the like on the video. Appreciate that. Hope everybody's having a good day. Please remember to take care of yourself. Water. Take your meds as much as everybody hates doing that. But take your meds. Take some moments to take a breath. Stay calm. That kind of shit. But yeah. So honestly, when you see someone like just try to spam grabs and stuff like that, they're probably kind of pissed off at something you did. They're kind of frustrated. They just want the stock to end. The nice thing about a situation, and not always the case, but the nice thing about a situation like that then is that you can see that and you can say, okay, I know, regardless of what else is happening right now, I know you're pissed off at me, right? And you're trying to do something easy and guaranteed so you can like just get this done. You just want this done right now. And the easiest thing in the world to do is if you can see that that's happening, don't try to match it, don't try to fight it. Honestly, you know, either hold shield, or if it's a fox looking for an F smash, it's pretty easy to bait out a lot of those things. If it's a Sheik going for grabs, you can honestly spot dodge timings get really easy then, because usually they're not going to disguise when they go in for the actual grab itself, and you'll get a feel for it too the more that you play it. One of the things back when I was on Twitch anyway, honestly, the best advice I got for movement and dash dancing and stuff like that was, it just sounds so dumb, but it was from Axe, because I asked Axe, and you know Axe is a Pikachu player. I think he has maybe the best dash dance in the game. I can't say that for sure. I am a big fan of his, so it's hard for me to like speak too definitively on that, but I think he's really good, right? So I remember asking on a stream, like, hey, well, how do you get good at dash dancing? Like, what are you thinking about? He said, like, well, I just kind of, the thing is, you just got to do it a lot. And that sounds really funny, but I think to me what that meant was basically dash dancing is so feint, read, and spacing heavy. And it involves so much of dash dancing. It involves looking at the other person and trying to figure out what they're going to do. So it's really hard to practice that on a bot, or like you can do. I think this is actually a pretty decent practice, and I feel like I can say that because I saw PPMB say that. So this. So I think probably, well, I mean, I'll you can do 9 too. You can do 1 through 9. It's all good. Try to be smart about this too. Remember that it is a CPU. But what you can do is try to just dash out of its range like that. I don't know why you're programmed like that, sir. Going for a counter after that. And it's not really about trying to beat out their options. You're waiting for them to do an option and then specifically counter it. Maybe try to complete a punish then too. Usually, I think level 9, I think past level 4 CPU, they start randomizing DI and stuff. But the idea isn't really about, I mean, you're trying to do 2 things. You're trying to work on your movement and practice punish. Like, okay, so you know that Falcon Punch? How many times have you seen someone throw a Falcon Punch out and just felt paralyzed? Because it was, all you can think about is like, if I get hit by this, I'm going to turn the console off, right? Or I'm going to turn the PC off. Well, you can, it's funny, but you can actually just practice frequently having something like that happen outside of your range. And you can see here, it's pretty, I mean, it's, I would never consider this a person because they're just throwing junk out. But even something as simple as them throwing a move out like that, and just realizing like when that happens, you know, there's so many different little things you can look for when things like that happen too. And the other funny thing about bots is until you get to a certain level, a lot of times people are going to have their game plans based off specific ranges, and so are the robots. So the robots. So you'll see at a certain range, I think I'm going to try to see if I can't. Well, it looks like it only happens in this direction too. I think it's like around here he'll do the dash. Yeah, he'll start doing dash like specific timings at certain ranges and stuff like that. And you'll start to be able to read those. And then now, even though when you're playing against a different person, excuse me, when you're playing against a person, obviously they're not going to just be doing the same thing. You know, I mean, sometimes, but honestly, you know, that's probably someone who's still learning the game, or just really, you know, every so often you freak out. It happens with the game, and you just got to be cool about it, respectful. But you know, frequently they're going to have a game plan based off spacing, even if their spacing is mixing it up, right? So let's say in a situation something like that, like let's say it's this range. Pretend they're not doing the Falcon slide thing. I forgot what that one's called. His side B. Anyway, if the spacing is around here, right? Well, for a lot of people, that spacing, this distance is going to mean something to them, right? This is going to mean, here's the options I can go for. You know, they talk about the web of opportunity, right? So right now I'm here, they're here. What's my web of opportunity? So some people are going to see this range and think, okay, that means, let's say it's a Falcon player, I'm going to jump in and do a nair. Or I'm going to do it and jump in. But the thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a nair. It can just be, I'm going to jump in and do an approach, or do something like that. And that's, you know, you start compartmentalizing some of the game plans in this, right? So you're seeing this guy, and okay, let's say it's this side B and I'm right here right now. So what are my options in this situation too? And like, so if he's taken, and the other thing too is like, the spacing becomes really important, because you can see here too, even at this point in time, I still have a lot of time to be able to react to what this is, because he's got to cross a decent amount of distance. So I think if I just, yeah, so I just dash back. I mean, obviously, and you know, you might have thought, I actually thought too, I wasn't like, is he going to catch me if I just dash back? Am I going to look dumb again? And fortunately I didn't look dumb, so that's always nice. But you'll see, the startup for that range, it just, you know, you can see how much time, how much space, how much reaction you can have to it. It's Mez loving the analysis. Oh yeah, Mez is goated, by the way. Dude, it's so good to have you back, man. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. I wish the best for you. Don't worry about being quiet, man. I totally understand. Yeah, just yeah, happy to see you back, man. Really appreciate it. But yeah. So you see here, like, so again here, like this. Well, right now he just walked forward, but which is kind of weird. But also that might be a situation too. You know, being at this distance where the Falcon player can think, okay, well, I'm here, I can just walk forward slowly and start doing something here. Now with a little bit more information, we kind of know that that's not possible, but no, I'm just happy to see you, man. It's good to see you again. But anyway, yeah, so, and that's, so yeah, anyway. Well, see, I made myself look dumb on purpose, so you guys don't feel too, you know, too intimidated by my genius. But yeah. So something you can do then is, and I'll say too, when I started playing this game, people were like, "Don't play bots, never play bots," and I started practicing this stuff against bots. And this is also this can apply to 20XX Fox robots as well. That'll get you playing the game fast, quick, because they're not necessarily going to be making the best choices, but they're going to be going at like max speed all the time. So it gives you a good sense of how to just keep up, which is a big part of this game, and just keep your head and keep pace when you're having all the different timing variations, because you're going to hit so much basically. But yeah, and then I saw a PPMB stream, and he was like, "It's actually pretty good practice to whip punish CPUs," and I'm like, I am a smart person. I do smart things. But anyway, I have staggered. It is 3 hours of stream. I have staggered this long enough. We're going to try some ranked here. But yeah, so Asuki, I hope that was useful too. And you guys feel free if you have any clarification. I'm still a little new to all of this stuff, talking about the game, stream, whatever. So if there's clarifications you guys need to, I'm not here to talk to make myself feel good. Like, I think part of the fun of trying to explain this game is that I learn a little bit of, you know, listening to myself say this stuff. And it's really important for me to try to give people the best information possible. So if there's any clarifications you guys ever have, please feel free to let me know, because I'm not here to... I'm not going to get much better if I just keep... you know, there's only so much ignorance I can allow myself in this game before it's going to start affecting my ability to play it, so... good luck, Emily. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, hopefully, Suki, hopefully some of that stuff makes sense to you and it helps out. But yeah, if you feel like they're looking for a very specific option that's going to like land a guaranteed hit or put the stock away or something like that, those are some ideas for what that might mean. So, anyway, I will do my best to talk as much as I can while I play this. Actually, I am going to... let me see. I need to... One sec here. I need to find a way to... Yeah, and again, we can definitely... Feel free to talk more about that. I'm trying to find a way to turn chat off right now, but I think I'm just going to ignore you guys for a second. Ooh, I did not expect to lift that angle. Wow, that was good spacing on that. Oops. Dang it. They're really good with the, so they're doing a lot of CC down smash stuff right now, which is actually really, it's working out. I'm running into it a lot, but they're getting a lot of their openings from that, so just got to think about how to play around that. Oops, now they're just, then you just run into their spammed up tilts. Best laid plans, huh? Yeah, see. I have a down tilt too, sire. I have a down tilt too. Ooh. Coming down with the Nair. Trying to place myself in front of them. They're already on top of some of those. Oops. Okay. Think this through a little bit better here. Dang it. There you go. Ooh, yeah, I ran into that. Forgot about that. There's a recovery option. Oops. Now, speaking of spacing, I feel like that's the thing that I'm just really cocky about it right now, trying to go for these like bigger openings, but they're not really working very well. I should be a little bit more methodical in the approach right now. Oops. Ah. Oops. Speaking of spacing, huh? So they're always on top of that with the good counter to an over-eager Fox player, I think. Dang it. Shit. See, they got that. They're so unlocked with that, too. Ooh. Dang it. Dang it. I ran right into that. Okay. So what do you want to do against Samus here? And usually the methodology is pretty... It's basically big stage bad, small stage good. So just like before, they banned Yoshi's, which makes sense because Yoshi's, you'll get the smash attacks are going to leave them really vulnerable. So usually if I'm getting the chance to ban, I'll ban Fountain of Dreams and 64 because those have the highest stages. So for this, I'm actually going to pick Pokemon, mostly for the home field advantage, but also it's got the smallest ceiling of any of the other stages right now. Dang it. Ah. Yeah, see? Oops. Oh, they must. Okay. I was wondering how that was going to go down. Sometimes I'll like drift into the ledge as a way to like mix up some of the timings. Oops. Oops. Alright, well, we'll see if we can do anything here. Dang it. Oops, yeah. Alright, so ban this again, because that's the big stage. You can see then that they pick Fountain of Dreams. Fountain of Dreams is a pretty good Pikachu stage, but you can see nerves make a difference and you just gotta respect it. I can't sit here and say like, "Ah, oh, play better." That's not how it works. You gotta respect what's going on in your head. Oops. Oops. I ran right into that. Dang it. phone? Shut up. It'd always be like that, you know, you're starting to win and then... Yeah. I just wasn't patient enough there for the get-up attack. I had enough shield and stuff to go be okay. Oops. Oops, yeah. They definitely took advantage of me being kind of lazy there. You can't wait that long for the, I did the spot dodge. I should have just done an up smash out of shield. Alright, it's for all the marbles. My friend used to say, none of this has mattered now. It's just a tied game. We just wasted 3 stocks, learning nothing. Probably not the best attitude to have, but... Yes! Let's go.
Choose your character.
Whew. I'm gonna pass out. So in spite of all the talking I do about trying to keep myself relaxed, rank still takes a lot out of me, so it's funny to see that. But that was a close game. Well played to color 3. Oh, I see, because it's the 3rd sam. Okay, makes sense. Thank you, appreciate it. Eventually, I'm gonna stop feeling like I'm having a heart attack when I do this. Today is not that day. I know, I'll drink more coffee to make myself feel better. But GG's to the opponent as well. So the first thing that I try not to think about when I finish ranked is the first thing that I'll say is don't think to myself, like immediately, it's so easy to let yourself get into this mindset of like, I didn't play very well. So the first thing that I think about when I play a rank set like that, where the nerves are such a big factor, apparently still for me, it's always a little embarrassing, but you know, you keep working at it. But the first thing that I'll think about then is, or I mean, honestly, I'll try to keep myself from thinking about then, sorry, I'm catching my breath here, is basically I'll just try to say like, okay, don't think how well you play immediately. Because for me, the first thing that I'm trying to think about is how did I feel doing that, right? Like, was I happy? Was I sad? Was I upset? Did I feel like I was in physical pain? That kind of stuff, right? Because it's so easy to get into this idea of playing rank. Because I don't think I played, I mean, no offense to the opponent, but I think I was a little sloppy there. I feel like I've definitely performed better against Samus players, right? And I think it's pretty comfortable to say that everybody maybe doesn't quite play 100% when you know, there's something like that on the line, right? Um, so to me, so that's why like my first immediate thought is like, don't be like, okay, I shat the bed on that, right? Because even after wins, sometimes I can definitely feel that way too. So I just try to think first thing like, okay, how am I doing? How am I feeling? Obviously, for me, the big thing right now is the fact that I really would like to not pass out every time a game is over. It's obviously it's a lot of fun to play and it gets your heart racing, but just still going to be a little bit of work before I can just jump back into ranked. And I do think that's helped me have a lot more fun with ranked too, is not pushing myself to perform when I think I can't do well. Um, Especially off a win, right? Because like, off a win or off a loss, sometimes you'll get so heated and so excited. You'll just queue up right away again. Oh yeah, sorry about the. Excuse me, I get 26 points from that day. I don't have. I noticed that the overlays and stuff for the rankings and the controllers, they'll make Slippy, at least for me, lag. So I don't really like using them too much right now. But I can read you guys out. It's Silver 1, 1106.1. Previously from 1080, I think. So. Oh man, yeah. Sorry, whew, it's fun, and that's probably the thing I'm working on the most right now is building up some dexterity and some ability to play just more ranked right now, because I know that that's what I want to be doing, and that's what I need to be doing to get to where I want to be as a player, right? Maybe work on my asthma a bit too, right? So, and yeah, and the nice thing about having these VODs too is I for whatever reason I just don't love using the Slippy system to watch games back. But then and it's like actually I'll finish the game and then I'll just look. Sometimes I'll just be looking up there because I can see in the video it's just playing back, and I'll just watch some of the set and be like, oh yeah, I remember that stuff. So trying to think of other thoughts to add right now. But I think too, like something else you want to do, like I can feel the adrenaline's pumping a little bit. So make sure that you have that excitement controlled. Like I feel like sometimes it's like an energy that you have to like squeeze into a ball too, just to make sure that you can manage, because you can focus that energy and get something useful out of it. But sometimes just move around a little bit if you got to. Just it's tough because you're going to be putting yourself through a lot, but your body's not really going to be able to move as much as you would probably expect from putting that kind of stress on yourself, right? And it's not like chess. There is a physical performance involved in this, that's pretty demanding. So you always have to be respectful of that stuff too. But yeah, so I'll just sit here and like if I'm off stream right now, I'll take 10-15 minutes off with a break, because it's just I really I get so worried about just honestly I feel like something like, well, I'll be like, am I gonna have a heart attack? Well, I'm not gonna have a heart attack, but I don't want to push myself too hard, so let's not push it. How about that? So that's kind of been my attitude towards rank right now. But it's definitely more rewarding to play like 3 or 4 games that I feel pretty decent about, that I feel like I got a lot out of than just queuing up over and over and over again, because I think that's I think that's just a bad habit sometimes. Commend attitude towards competing. I think you show a good respect for your opponents in and out of the game. I try to. I think it's just really important. This is a really tough game, so you know how it is. You just got to be. I'm sorry. I feel like I just ran a mile too. I'm so. Obviously, I got to be doing more ranked on stream, but it was better than when and the other thing too is I can look at these videos and see like, okay, well, the last time I did ranked, I basically fell on the ground. So, yeah, but that's just really important to me. Well, I mean, do you want this to be a stream where I'm just like, what a dumb Thameth player. Thameth is dumb. And then you guys all jump in with like, I also am not a fan of Samus, and then like, I don't think we need that whirlpool of commentary. I don't know. Anyway. The music's done. That's another. That's also a thing. Is happened. Zelda lo-fi beats. Are these not copywritten? Yeah, we can have it be one of those, like everybody else, where we just talk about how much we hate every single matchup and we hate everything about the game, except the brief moments we win. But I don't really want to do that. Like even okay, so like Samus Pikachu is not an ideal matchup, I think, for Pikachu, right? Samus can do like you can see that Samus was using a lot of projectiles, right? And I actually think that's a pretty smart thing to do because Pikachu struggles with projectiles pretty frequently. And they were catching me for the first couple games, so finally I got a moment where I did approaching bear that went straight through the missile that they shot. And you can see that really changed their game plan after that point, realizing that Pikachu's not just going to run it. I'm not just going to keep full hop naring from across the stage into your missiles. There is a counter to you firing the missile out. And then like how clearly effective they are off crouch cancel for approaches, because Pikachu struggles with that stuff, right? So I can sit here and think, wow, I wish this was a Fox player that ran into my grabs and didn't move when I chain grabbed him and then died. Or you can kind of look at that as like the puzzle and figuring out the enjoyment of the reaction between the two. Because you know, good games in this game is when you play someone that frequently, you know, you might be at similar skill level, but they really push you, you know. That's when stuff gets really exciting. So to me, it's not like, I don't think it makes sense to look at the person that I'm playing, especially if I have an experience where I feel like I'm, yes, growing as a person. Sorry, I know it's stupid and corny, but that doesn't make sense to me to look at them and then immediately go like, wow, you suck. Like, how is that good for my growth as well, right? Which I know that's really corny self-help shit, but because we've seen the effect of just shitting on the other player over and over again. I don't think you need another stream like that. I don't think I need to be doing that. And I also think, I think there's a time and a place for, you know, sometimes people talk shit, you know, that's just gonna happen too. And I don't think it's always terrible, but I definitely feel like I don't need to be a voice contributing to that, you know. I think it's better to let, you know, some people are going to do that. Let them do that. They might be a little bit more clever than I am anyway, you know. So, sorry, I'm still catching my breath here. Oh, man. This is also why I think yoga and meditation helps, because it can really help you get a better feel for how your body deals with any sort of physical or emotional stress, which you're putting yourself under a lot of both when you play this game. So I also have asthma, sorry. It catches up sometimes. I'm still figuring out the air quality in this room too. We're getting a little better. This past 3 days was really scary. What scared me was that the stated air quality in the state was not accurate. I think I heard some kids playing outside and I just started crying because I was like, oh, they're really making themselves sick. Don't need to be saying that. And then that's also why I try to remind myself in this situation that this game is a sport. You know, this is hard. This is tough. You know, everybody knows that this is really tough. And to go, because like, I can't keep feeling shame at myself for not being able to keep up, right? So just appreciate what I've been able to accomplish right now in this game, because it's a lot. And I've had to, you know, we don't got to get into it, but I feel like I've pushed myself through. You know, I was playing this game when I was living in my car. I was playing in parks that had decent Wi-Fi because I could get some slippy games in, you know. I used to stream from coffee shops when I had the time, or when I had the ability to, you know. I don't know. It's I'm just tired of letting this wreck me. I don't feel like I need to anymore, so I'm not gonna. So anyway, sorry about all that rambling, and sorry for taking the break here. I'll keep working with the rank stuff though. It's so fun, man. It's so fun because it's also like, again, it's that same thing where you go back because you're both basically trying to win, right? So you can look back at that and know with some confidence that when you beat that person, you know, you're both entering an unspoken, unwritten agreement, sort of that this is the real thing for the most, as much as it can be on ranked, right? So then you can kind of sit back and say, well, I know that I won that then, because on ranked you don't know necessarily what someone's going to be doing on unranked, but in ranked, the presumption is that someone is trying their best. So now whether I don't know necessarily if that's what that Samus player could have been, literally anybody just slagging off today or something like that. You know, you don't know for sure, but you can sort of, it's just, I'm talking myself out of this good feeling here right now, but basically you see what I'm saying. Because people, you know, I think Melee players are also competitive enough to not want to lose that little bunch of numbers next to their name. So anyway, now that I feel like an old man, I can't keep up. Sorry, I'm being gross here too. This is also sometimes why, if you guys see me wear a mask when I play, because it just tends to help out some of the, I don't know if it's, I actually don't think that's necessarily connected to the air quality in here. I think I just get pretty, you start breathing, I mean, so again, like, you are not a robot when you sit and play this game, you're a physical thing. So you're gonna get excited, you're gonna sit and your blood's gonna start pumping, you're gonna start breathing in more because you're stressed and excited or whatever. You're putting yourself into a very, 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 very mellow version of the fight or flight response, right? So just be, you know, I mean, yeah, it's a video game at the end of the day, but you can still kind of respect the fact that you're putting yourself through something. You know, I've heard more than one person talk about the fact that they started getting heart palpitations after playing this, and yeah, that's just a lot. So we have another slightly unconventional matchup. I feel like I play a lot of Game & Watch players, but you know, I say that and get myself bitten in the butt. I'm gonna ban these two. I don't really have a big game plan initially. It has been a minute since I played a Game & Watch, so we'll see how this goes. Sometimes if I'm trying to keep myself having a good time, I'll say out loud like good luck, have fun, Smoshi Annie. I don't know what that means, but I'll just say that out loud to myself too. Just because like saying it, it's like it adds a little bit more of like if I was sitting next to the person and then I said that, you know, it makes it feel a little more real to me. Helps me keep a better attitude about it. Oh, I thought they were gonna try to bucket that. Yeah. We're getting a bit of lag on this. I think we're both dealing with it though, judging from that interaction too, so. When something like this happens, it's just important to take it with a grain of salt. It's also why sometimes I don't take the sometimes it's important not to take stuff too seriously, because some days you're gonna play the game's gonna crash on you, and you're gonna find out you lost like 30 points, and that's just life, you know? Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. Dang it, left them open for that big ol' coverage there. Okay, I guess that works. I can definitely catch him eventually with that off the ledge, but it's gonna take me. My timing's not super great on that. By the time he just waited. Once again. That's also probably a decent idea too, I guess, huh? He's been entering a lot with that, oops. See if I can put this away here. Oops, don't die. Dang it, that was such a bad... I could have done anything else and that would have been better. Dang it. Yeah, so no worries. So again, I'm just going to take it kind of easy because that first bit was a little bit laggy. I'm feeling a little petty, so we're going to go back to Yoshi's. See if we can make anything else happen here. Dang it. Also really aware that there's definitely some holes in the game plan right now I need to work on. They like coming in with aerials a lot, so technically that leaves them really vulnerable for like up smash out of shield, but I actually realize now that I need to touch that skill setup. I'm also letting them do a lot of shield pokes, which is not a good look. Try to crash cancel that, not good enough. Got them with that though. They're super aggressive, but it's oops. Oh no. Oh nice, I got that. Oops. Okay, see if I can... Got some Shag idea to help put that away. Dang it. I thought my shield was going to come out quick enough for that. See, coming down a lot with the similar aerial attacks. Like really hit heavy right now too. See? So it's not to say that they're bad at it, but that is everything's it's just like very dedicated to the approach. So basically all I was doing was kind of like, alright, what do you want to do? And then let them do it, respond off of it. Which is just the adaptation I was doing in my head. Let's ban Battlefield actually. Okay. Figured they'd pick FD, and I thought that actually might not be a bad choice. So we'll see how that goes. My hands are getting a little sweaty, so I lost my grip there. A little lag spike there got me in my... threw off my rhythm really bad there. The dumb... They definitely were going to have invulnerability no matter what I did. So I don't know why... tried to catch it like that. I think I actually should have let them come out with that nair because they probably would have put themselves in a bad position because of it. Oh, could have killed there. Sucks. Oops, don't do that. Dang it. All the time in the world. Yeah. Okay. So, something that I have to keep in mind whenever I play this game is that I have to stay... I don't want to get too cocky. It's also another reason I try to be pretty respectful, because if I get too cocky, I tend to kind of just stop feeling like I need to try, and that's not a good attitude to have. It's also not respectful of the people you're playing to. And also the second that you start giving them a little bit of space to set in that, and you just say like, well, I'm just going to hold crouch cancel and we'll just let this happen. You know, you can let a lot of stuff go. I think one of the worst, I see it so frequently, the second people start getting a little, not just confident, but like cocky, that's when the mistakes really start coming. So that was really the biggest thing I was thinking about, was being like, okay, so I feel like I got the game plan on lock pretty well. I think I kind of know what they're doing. I don't want to let myself just get too... I could see in my head that I was really willing to just be like, I think all I need to do now to win this, and all I should have to do, is just hold down. Wait for them to hit me with an attack and just up smash, right? Now that's not actually, that was not going to work. Even you know, we can all see, you know, you guys can tell that there's... I can say whatever I want, but there was a little bit more going on than just that. So it was trying to keep myself out of that. Then I was mostly just trying to fight off that impulse and make sure that I kept treating this like a real game here. Just keeping focus and stuff too. I was also thinking a lot about like, man, I should be hitting more up air stuff on this. Also the up smash out of shield too, are all things that I was thinking about now. Yeah, so that was kind of like my thought process for the adjustments that I made too. And this is, you know, again, it's a pretty, again, with respect to the opponent, this is a pretty low level. So usually what you want to try to do is like as opposed to really finite or like really fine individual situations. And I mean, if those come up, right? Especially at ledge and stuff like that. Like if they just keep wave dashing on the ledge after the invincibility is gone, just F smash them, right? Like, I mean, it's there, you know, but for the most part, a good way to like typify is like, are they throwing out a lot? Are they being really aggressive? Are they being really defensive? And for them, I could see that they were really aggressively trying to approach almost all the time, almost always jumping in with an aerial, especially, I think it's their nair, or the fair that they had in the box. I think the box is the fair. Also, thank you. Thanks, Mez. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, so like you can see, I'm just watching this back too, but like, so for me too, that was another thing that I could get upset about myself, was just realizing how much of a struggle I was having off of like the shield and stuff. Because I realized, okay, I need to practice more off the shield defensive hit, because I think you should be able to have something for Game & Watch, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, just some stuff I think about. Just watching it back again. And then it was just pretty easy to, you know, either I'd hold shield, again, not because I didn't have, I wasn't doing a lot of shield grabs, and I wasn't getting up smashes out of shield, so I wasn't making much out of it. But basically I managed to handle the first attack that they would throw after they would short hop in. And then I was pretty free to punish as long as I kept my head up and like made sure I was doing something quick enough or was avoiding the attack successfully. So and that was kind of the game plan then. You know, knowing, and you kind of tell yourself like, okay, Game & Watch, like what you can kind of like, I try to think about the player before I think about the matchup, because I think that's a little bit healthier, especially at low level too. But you know, so you think about like, okay, so what's Game & Watch's objectives? What are they trying to do? What are they thinking about? And that's a good thing that you can do. A good way to learn a lot of the stuff that other people might want to be doing with their characters is actually just play their character. You know, I didn't really learn a lot about Sheik until I spent a few hours just playing Sheik, and it's funny how much you can learn about fighting a character, even playing them at a low level. Just, well, like here's their timing, here's the feel, here's the sense of what they do. The more you can put yourself in your opponent's head, the better usually. So yeah, so it's that. I'll let John about that stuff. What time is it? I think I'm gonna call it for here. It's almost been 4 hours. Sorry for the shaky start, but I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I'll figure out what I need to figure out here. Just the nature of living in Minnesota, I suppose. But thanks for the likes, appreciate that. Thanks, Mez, for coming back, appreciate that. Never feel like you gotta be too yeah, you don't gotta be chatting. If you need to lurk, man, that's totally cool, I understand. Thanks, as always, Suzuki, for handling the modding and such and such. Thanks to the opponents I played, appreciate that. Appreciate having the opportunity to play you guys. And I'm gonna call it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe have some more coffee and lie down for a couple minutes here. Yeah, no worries. And Suki, please feel free to, if you have any more things that you want to talk about, kind of an open book here. You know, just hit me up. I don't have any issues with that. And yeah, anybody else, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I hope you guys have fun grinding. You know, stay happy, stay calm, have a good time. You know, that's make sure to have freaking fun. That's the most important thing. I know it sounds stupid, but it's just so important. Anyway, I watch so many Twitch streams to get ready for the raid, but there's no raid to happen, so. Thanks again, everybody.